Hello and welcome to ARK, complete series. Well, we are on Genesis 2 and we've got a bit of a basic base going on here. I mean, we've got stone foundations and at some point I want to have a base that's got, well, it's going following a tech theme more than anything. But we've got to start somewhere and we're just going all the way back to basics really. One of those things I need to do first though is I need to get some meat going because I need a lot of cooked meat going because Rainbow over there, she's missing her hat. I don't know where it went to. I think we'll try about 100 just to be on the safe side. But yeah, she's missing her hat. I lost her saddle at some point, I don't know when, throughout this playthrough, but I don't think she ever had a really good saddle anyway, so she's got a very basic saddle. And I've been around all the maps and I could never find an actual blueprint, so I don't know, I mean, she's the only dino that never actually got a decent saddle. But, because we've got the summer event going on, apparently I could get her another one if I can get 250 cooked meat. So yeah, this is going to take a while, but in the meantime, what I want to do is, for one thing, I just want to go and double check if those loot crates have dropped still around. Because I saw 2 yellow ones around somewhere. Oh, there's, at least they're looking yellowish. Just out of curiosity to see what's in there. I mean, even if the loot isn't something I want, I'll still probably keep it for the sake of being able to grind it later on. So where we're at the moment is we've got that basic base going at the moment, but I want to start upgrading it. I want to get into the industrial age, if you will. I'm talking about the actual fabricators and the industrial cooker and oven and that sort of stuff. But that's going to take me a while. I need to find oil on this map. I need to see if I can find if there's any beavers around as well to be able to get cementing paste from them. I mean, I could probably get the electronics off the striders. I mean, at some point I could do with probably taming one of those, but they'll give you a lot of resources. The only catch is, if you want to tame one, I need to get, I think it's muted gel I've got to find to be able to tame them, and I have to do certain missions, or at least a certain number of missions first anyway. So what we're going to do is just going to grab whatever I can from these actual loot drops, and then we're going to go in search of oil and beaver dams. Now that was a lucky loot crate. I've just managed to actually get 185 oil off that off a yellow loot crate. So yeah, we're heading in a good direction here, I must admit. Seems if I just keep going around and gathering stuff from loot crates, I think I might be able to get a much easier life on this map. Yeah, going back to basics, I forgot how slow things are, so I've made more campfires so I can start cooking more meat. I'm going to grab Aussie for a change, because as far as I can tell, I mean, there should be, I think I saw a beaver in my travels out over that way. But if we head in this direction, this beaver that I saw, it was just swimming around in the water and I couldn't see any actual beaver dams, because that's what I need. I need cementing paste to make this stuff that I'm after. Hang on a minute. Let's put that away. You can't fly quickly if I don't put those things away. But yeah, I haven't seen any yet, I must admit. So I'm just gonna go searching around the waterways, because there must be some beaver dams around somewhere. Oh, is that crystal over there? Yeah, there's quite a lot of resources. There's some over there. It seems to be, I mean, crystal's one of those things that's easy to spot them at night anyway. Yeah, it's crystal over there as well. Ah. I just want to grab this loot crate. Because, I mean, I got quite a bit of... I think I actually got some metal shards from one of those crates as well. Because I grabbed two. Ooh, there's one over there. Oh, crikey. So I may as well grab these while we're flying around looking for them. Have a look and just see if there's any beaver dams on the way. But we're getting some interesting resources. I mean, even if I'm not going to keep the structure... Ooh, crikey. We're moving again. Oh, no! Oh, foobar. You spoil sport. So it's a good thing it's a nice visual effect, except now my loot crates have gone. Ah! Grrr. Right. Oh, we're flying around. Let's have a look. So there should be... I wonder if there's any over there then. I mean, it's pitch black, I must admit. So I think what I'll do is, I think I'll just wait for the daytime, otherwise it's going to be hard to see. I don't want to go into gamma. Tends to just like wash out the video. So what I'll do is I'll just wander around looking for beaver dams. And then any spot I'll show you. But it's still night time and I'm still wandering around, but right over here, so that's about 2886. I was just flying by.
Another journal entry from the ship's database. Huh. Wonder who logged this one.
When she said exactly that. So there's explorer notes around here. Transhuman cousins. What? The United Republics of Earth. Okay, so this is NIDA journal entry number 6. Did you know about that? I don't remember anybody called NIDA. But yeah, one thing I have noticed is there are some things that are easier to spot. Because I noticed some things actually, I mean, we're in the dark. Actually, that's something I meant to do. I can get this tech parasol. I can get electronics and oil from this. It's another way to get things. That's one way to get it that I completely forgot about. But I was wondering over here, because I'm just basically following the rivers. And it looked like there was something in the actual water here. I'll see if I can spot it again, because it looked like there was some tech item in the actual water, like a plate. Oh, there, down there. See them? They look a bit odd. Anyway, I'm going to grab that loot crate and I'm going to keep heading around looking for the beaver dams. I was just actually following a loot crate all the way up to there and I found an actual beaver dam here. So we are right up on the top north. So it's basically I'm just following the actual following the rivers to try and find these things. So that's not bad. I mean, looks like the beaver over there is actually beating one up. Because there's Rexes around here as well, but it looks like the beaver beat one of them up. The Bronto, it was... it actually got hit by the Rex over the raptor over here. Because there was a raptor chasing a Parasaur. And the raptor must have hit the Bronto. And then the Bronto finished it off. But, yeah, not too bad. I mean, I don't really use electric buds, I must admit. If I wanted one, I've got an Ascendant blueprint. And there's a Rex here, which is filling me full of confidence. Ooh, there's a Sargo down there as well, so that a Rex is gonna... hopefully they can sort the Rex out, because I want to go and get... Oh, there's a beaver... Oh, so there's a beaver down there, there's a beaver down there. I just want that Rex to go out the way. So I can hit it from here. Yes, I can. Actually, I wonder what level it is. 95. Bye-bye, Rexy. Right, come on. Oh, I've got the chance. Oh, the Bronto's probably picked up at me because I've probably hit it as well. Yeah, I think the Bronto's probably ticked up at... Oh, there's a Sargo. Jeez Louise. Let's clear out this Sargo before it starts giving us grief. Ooh, 140 Sargo. Well, I could do with the extra meat as well, I suppose. Although I must admit, Ozzy's getting a bit top heavy, I think. A 130. Jeez Louise. I mean, Rainbow doesn't have much trouble with these, but Ozzy doesn't. Ozzy isn't sort of like designed for this sort of stuff. It's gonna take a while to clear it out. Oh, let's run him. Just keep nibbling on you. You just keep pecking away, mate. We'll get rid of it eventually. Go on, keep pecking. Keep going, we're nearly there. Nearly there. Actually, that's a thought. Right, we're gonna have to do a hit and run, mate. We're not interested in the trees. Or the wood. Well, actually, what level are you? 85. Right, hit and run. Get ready. Go, go, go. That's not too bad. We've got 141 cement out of that one dam. Not seeing any others at the minute. Well, I'm just going to follow these rivers basically. See what else we can find. See if we can find any more. Because we need quite a lot of cementing paste. And the first thing I want, I suppose, is the... I think I need the fabricator first. Actually, I only needed 20. That looks like I could actually build that now. Alright, in that case, I think we'll just head back to base, and I'll follow the rivers back to base, because at least we can get an actual fabricator built now. Well, that wasn't too bad. I've managed to get enough actual cooked meat here, and I should be able to get a hat. Right, so if we pull one bit of wood across, that's enough to light this thing. Yeah, it just needs one, so you can use that on your saddle. So I'll light the fire, and we'll craft one of them. Right, that gets her saddle sorted out, so she'll now have a hat back. Yeah, she's had an Uncle Sam hat for a long time. Just no idea where it went to. There you go. You're back to your old self. I can actually remember when I was actually, I think I was trying to tame a Yeti. And you can just see her little head sticking out there, like the top with a hat on. I thought that was hilarious. Anyway, let's see if we've got enough to make this fabricator. I probably won't be able to make it there. I've got enough to make one. Right, I'll find somewhere to put this big thing, because it's usually really big structure. I'll try not to stand in the fire that's behind me. Ooh, wow. I forgot how big these things are. Oh, I've got plenty of room. I want to keep it out of the way of that area though. I'll put it in the middle. Well, I'll put it there actually then. I'll be able to put the... Because I can always put the chemistry bench here and I can always widen this place out, to be honest. Yeah, I can always widen it out. Right, so this needs to be run off gasoline, doesn't it? I do have some. Now that we've got oil. Right, so this beastie to make... Yeah, it's the polymer's going to be the pain, so 30 crystal, 200. Have we got enough to make an industrial cooker? No, I don't want 101, I just want one. Yay, we've actually got enough to make one of them. Ooh, in which case... It's the polymer. Right, this will make my life easier. Having this thing. That's pretty big. If I put that one... I don't mind putting that here because I can then put the... I'll put the cooker over there. Yeah, I'll put the oven over there. The cooker rather. Oven, cooker. Potato, potato. And that's not powered either. But at least I'll be able to get my meat and everything done a lot quicker. So what we're missing then... Actually, I don't need these anymore, do I? Yeah. May as well actually demolish them now that I think about it. I'll just pull everything over to here if I can. Put that over there, that in there, that in there, that in there. Yeah, I can pull it from the item caches. Not as much. Grab any... I don't think there's any raw meat left over. No. Okay. Right, what about wood? Nope. So what is left in there then? Spoiled meat. Spoiled meat, spoiled meat, and spoiled meat. Okay, fair enough. Right, well I'll pick that up. Oh. So keep a hold of this for now, for the summer bash. And I'll keep this one until we get our industrial... Okay. And I'll just demolish this because I don't need it anymore. Oh yeah, I automatically get the resources. And I'll just dump these bits and pieces in here. Right, so what other industrial goodies can we get? So there's the industrial... Now the grinder... That needs polymer. So we're going to need a lot more oil. And a lot of polymer. The polymer... Memory serves... Yeah, if memory serves, the polymer... We can make polymer from cementing paste and obsidian, but I'm gonna need that. It's gonna need a lot. I'd rather find a way to get polymer, either organic polymer, if possible. So that's another tricky thing. So, yeah, all of them are going to need polymer from somewhere. And I mean, we're not talking just a small amount, we're talking about like a lot. And a ton of metal. I mean, it would make sense to get that one sorted out first, because then I can use that to grind other things. So we're going to have to go on some grinding runs to begin with to get enough, at least the metal ingots and the crystal and the cementing paste. So this is going to be a while. Aha! I finally figured out where these sneaky beavers are and where they're actually hiding their cementing paste, because I've been going over different parts of the map and going over, you know, the waterways and so on, and every so often I've seen an actual beaver dam, but these ones, well, are just being extra sneaky because theirs are actually under the water. Because it wasn't until I actually went in the water that I noticed that they'd actually, well, this is a map where the actual beaver dams are mostly under the water. I completely forgot about that. I just got used to them being on the actual surface. Usually they're on the actual land. The beavers will go in the water. And some of the places, yeah, they were in the actual, you know, under the actual water. I totally forgot about that. It was only when I was actually just having a look around in the actual waterways themselves that I found them. Now these ones here, they're a bit miffed at me because I've actually been having a bit of a peek in one of the actual beaver dams down here. And there's quite a few of them in there. There's one over there. And there's one over there. There was a third one, so I've seen 3 along here, but because I haven't actually taken anything, I've just had a bit of a sneak peek. And I'm getting around like really quickly on this this tech gear, if you will. It's not tech gear as such, it's just, you know, what came with, what is it, it's Exo, it's Federation Exo stuff. Let's have a quick peek. Ooh. Don't need the wood, it's going to be overweight. I'll get overweight if I use that, but I can get around the map extremely quickly on this stuff. And we don't use any element. You can see it's kind of weird, I must admit. Sometimes the O2 goes down and sometimes it doesn't. So I just find that very strange, I must admit. But it's not powered by elements, so it's actually great. Just whizzing around. Doesn't matter whether I'm on the, you know, in the air or whether I'm like under the water, as in this case. I can get around extremely quickly. I'll just make a bit of a dash for it and that's it. Just out of curiosity, see how damaged this gear got. Just gonna plonk ourselves down over here. It hasn't even taken any. That doesn't look as though it took any damage either. I mean, we did, but the actual... That's just plain weird. So it's indestructible. What? It's not powered and it's indestructible. So it's like the dino saddles, really. So your health will get damaged, but your armor won't, so you don't have to replace it. Ooh. Just out of curiosity, I'll go and have a look to see how much cementing paste I got. I didn't seem to get that much, I must admit. Oh, I need a lot more than that. A lot more. So I'm going to have to go peering around in the waterways then, it seems. I'll have to have a look under the surface to try and find these beasties. But one thing I've noticed is, well, This place is dropping some crazy stuff. I've been just having a bit of a look around the loot drops now. Normally, like if I'm on like maps, I don't really bother with the surface kind of loot drops like those, because it's a case of you just get low-end gear. It's not that particularly wonderful, and I'm like, you know, I've been right the way through a lot of maps, so it's not that much incentive. But since I've been on here, it's like it's a real game changer. It's quite a shock, because it's like, hang on a minute, there's a ton of good stuff that's actually available. I'm getting like a lot of resources. I'm now starting to take Rainbow around, because I'm getting she can carry some good stuff. I get weight reduction by having that mining drill. She gets weight reduction for other things. But what it means is, I mean, I'm getting some interesting gear that drops, and I know one of the things I got was like really shocking. It's actually an industrial grill. Go and get that though. The only trouble is, I mean, if you were on a server that didn't have mods, something like this would make a heck of a lot of sense. But because I'm at using the S Plus mod, I'm quite keen to just stick to that. Because if I put that over here, so that's the normal one. So you can see that's got a capacity of 50. That's got a capacity of 100. So not really that much of a big deal when you're talking about a grill, because there's only one. There's just me. I'm the only one who's going to be grilling things here. But when you're talking about things like the fabricator, I'm going to have if I'm talking about double the slots, it means I'll be able to make a lot more things a lot quicker. The other thing is, just have a look in there. Yeah, if you look in here, there's nothing to be seen. I can still pull things, which is not, that's fine for a grill. But if you look in comparison, this actually has the blueprints. So when you're talking about, say, like a fabricator, for example, it makes a lot more sense, because you look at like all the different items. I'd have to pull all of those individual items to know exactly what to make if I was just going to use a normal structure versus an S Plus one. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. If I wasn't using S Plus, I suppose your life is just so much easier. It's like, there's not much point gathering sort of like resources on this map, as far as I can see. At least not that many. At least when it comes to the structures, you may as well just go and look for things in the loot drops, because chances are this sort of stuff's dropping in those loot drops anyway. So it's like, And the problem for me with S Plus is I'm gonna have to basically gather the resources, which is what I'm doing now, because I need to make them in an S Plus fabricator, for example. Or I can get some of the resources back by breaking the normal sort of gear down within the actual grinder once I get back. But yeah, it means I'm going to have to gather quite a lot. I'm still a good way away from being able to make the actual enough polymer. So let's see. I mean, the grinder needs. See, this is why I just like the S Plus stuff. It just makes life a lot easier. It just saves time. That's the key thing. It saves you time. So to make that, I need metal ingots. Okay. I need so much crystal, which I'm kicking myself because I had to drop some from a loot drop. I had about 400 from a loot drop, but I just couldn't carry it all. I need another 771 cementing paste. I need another 574 polymer, right. Go and have a look for polymer. If I can spell. See, I mean, I can just tell it how much of it I want. So it's saying I still need another 382 obsidian and another 1119 cementing paste. I mean, I suppose I could go like beating the ducks up, I suppose, and getting organic polymer from them, but the trouble is that's organic and it spoils. I mean, you can keep it going with a refrigerator, which actually reminds me, I do need a refrigerator, and I need some electricity in this actual base as well, so there are other things. But I think I'm going to have a good wander around. I'm going to keep my eye out for these loot drops. But back to the grinding. Well, fingers crossed, I think I might have finally got enough actual resources to be able to build myself a grinder. I've had to resort to, well, using a chainsaw basically. It was a bit of a struggle trying to find beaver dams to get the cementing paste, and I mean, you can get, quite a lot of chitin from various places, and I'm just saying, It's very useful, a chainsaw. Same goes for, well, organic polymer as well. That's quite easy to get a hold of, I must admit. I mean, the decay on that's about like half an hour, so I've been using Aussie over there as a refrigerator, basically. But anyway, let's see if we've got enough now, because I've been doing quite a bit of smelting of that metal. So have we got enough yet? Yes, we've now got enough. Right, so since I don't have anything other than turn this on with the actual gasoline, there's no other way to power this at the minute, because I don't have it's like a generator of any sort. So let's have a look. Yeah, you can see it's got quite a lot of sort of like organic polymer we've got there. Right, anyway, let's get this grinder done, because I've been doing quite a lot of loot drops as well. So I've been able to get quite a few things from there. So I've managed to get quite a few of the actual resources actually came from those. But I also managed to get, well, I've got a lot of items, I must admit. I've been putting those to one side, because the plan is, well, I want to be able to break them down in the grinder. That'll save me doing a lot more resource grinding. So let's see, where's that one? Where does this thing need to go? So I want a bit of room. Seems, is that straightened up yet? No, it's not quite straight. Yeah, that'll do. Move that back a bit, because I want a bit of a gap. Let's have a look. Camera's all over the place at the minute. We're right on the edge here. Right, I think that's. We're gonna fall off the edge. Not quite. There we go. Right, so that needs powering as well. Surprise, surprise. But, hello. Should be able to get quite a few bits and pieces. Oh, that's something I completely forgot about. There's an S plus converter here. And what you can do is you can actually use that to actually convert the, so like the normal structures, for example, the S plus ones. I completely forgot about that, and well, it was for a good reason, because like in earlier playthroughs I'm pretty sure I had problems that were related to that S plus converter, which I won't go into, but the point is, this is the last DLC, the last official map in the story series anyway, so even if I do run into these issues, I think I can live with it. So fingers crossed I might actually be able to get some more structures from the actual loot drops, because I mean, so far I've getting some pretty interesting stuff. So there's tech things in here, for instance, if I can find them. So it's like there's a metal triangle roof. I'm sure I got some tech stuff. There we go. So I've got some tech foundations, for instance. So if we go and grab those, rather than me literally grinding them down just so I can get the S plus versions, I'm going to pop these into here. I'm going to select those, click on convert the selected item. Ooh, interesting. That's probably why. Okay, so I need to learn all of those. Yeah, you learn the originals by default. Right, okay. So let's try that then. So now we've got the S plus version. That's cool. So I'll keep them to one side. Well, the rest of the stuff I'm going to start grinding, because I should be able to get some pretty good resources. I mean, I've got all sorts of different things in here. I mean, yeah, I mean, I think I'll keep those in case I want to go after things like diggers, I suppose. There's saddles in here that I don't need. And I'm not going to use that now that I've actually created one of these actual grills. There's no point, well, converting it into an S plus version. So let's pop that into there. Let's see what interesting bits and pieces we will get. So if I put that in there, we'll turn the grinder on. Just double check. There, we don't need those, so I'll grind those. So let's see, we'll get Yes, there's some pretty good resources from that. So that gives me, well, gives me a real incentive to just go chasing the actual loot crates, which I must admit those things can be like really annoying because they'll drop as you go around searching around the map, but just as you're about to go into hyperspace, I've noticed they disappear. So it's like they're easy to see at night, but the trouble is if you don't get to them in time, they'll disappear. So that's kind of frustrating, I must admit. But anyway, looks like I'm going to have to expand this place out a lot more because there are other things I need to build. I mean, I've still got to do the industrial forge, the industrial cooker, but we'll see what we get from these resources, you know, how much more grinding we've got to do, but I want to get myself into the industrial age, basically, and then I'll start thinking about where to go next. Well, I can finally say we've now managed to get to the industrial age, if you will. I had to expand this place out to be able to fit that industrial forge in. I mean, all of these other things that I've put together, things like the chemistry bench, my generator over there, my cooking, my industrial cooker over here, plus the actual refrigerators that I've got. Those, I managed to get those done with pretty much the resources I had, but the forge I needed quite a bit of extra oil, a lot more cementing paste, so fortunately I was able to get quite a lot out of the actual tech dinos. That's where I've been going because I've been struggling to find any oil. I suspect it's going to be underneath the water. There's going to be oil, you know, oil rocks underneath the water. So somewhere among this, you know, water area that we've got here will be probably actual oil veins that you can tap into. So for now I'm just making do with the actual tech dinos that are out there. But I think I might go and get one of the actual the Basilosauruses, probably go and get, I think it's, I can't remember whether it was Basil or Boris I left on the island, one of the two, but I'll bring them across and then I can just leave them in this little lagoon area. They'll be able to produce oil. I can also go and get myself some dung beetles as well. They're good, I mean you can keep those going. But yeah, it didn't take that much, I mean, but I think just literally having to go around chasing the actual, well, the loot crates that are out there got me quite a lot of resources. Now, sometimes you can get like oil from them, metal ingots, the actual cementing paste, all sorts, but yeah, eventually I was just chasing down any tech dinos that I could find, but I've had to expand the base out a bit more just to be able to fit things in, but there's like a ton of room, way more room than I really anticipated, I must admit. Because I think the original plan was I was going to run a kind of a ceiling over the top, maybe keep some dinos on top, but I'm thinking actually what I'll do is I'll just keep, you know, keep expanding out on this area. I mean, when I start doing the tech stuff, I'll start in that corner and work my way in that direction. That's probably the strategy I think I'll go with, because I did manage to get some tech structures, which is quite useful. I've noticed some of those are not grindable. Some are, and some are not, which is odd. I mean, I've been converting them over to S+. Makes no difference. If it's not grindable, it doesn't suddenly become grindable when you convert it, but it seems to vary for some strange reason. I don't know why. I guess it just is what it is. So anything that's I think is going to be useful, I've been converting it over to S+. Except for these ocean platforms, I couldn't convert those. And from what I found, the S+ version of these actually uses a heck of a lot resources than the original one does for some strange reason. But the converter wouldn't let me convert them to S+, even though the S+ ones would use up less resources. It just said, nope, I'm not going to let you do it because the crafting requirements are different. So yeah, that's a bit odd. So there's a few things I've been getting. Anything I thought was useful I've kept, anything else has just gone into the grinder because pretty much all of the resources I needed, you know, for like the generator, chemistry bench, refrigerators, industrial cooker, all of those basically just came from grinding all the things that I didn't want to keep. So yeah, that grinder, as always, is just extremely useful, especially on here, when you think some of the things that are getting dropped on those from those loot crates that we've got. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with that, because we're basically in the industrial age. I mean, next thing to do is to get into the tech age, so I think before I do that, I'll start doing the tech flooring. I mean, to do that you need a tech replicator, which means I'm going to have to start finding the actual yeah, things like element. Metal won't be a problem. Element will not. I'm going to find a way of getting element on this map. I suspect it's going to mean going over to the other side. But, I mean, I have been able to get some along the way. I mean, I've been getting quite a bit of dust because of the ferrox. I've also been getting metal shard. I'm sure I've been getting some metal shards along the way. Element shards, I should say. But, yeah, it's really the element that we want. So, before we get into the tech, I mean, I suppose you could... There's also you could also ask HLNA here.
Here's what I've got.
Where you keep your element now. So that's about 2,000 hexagons for element. Yep, just browsing. So yeah, it's gonna take a heck of a lot to get into the tech era, if you will, on this map by the looks of it, until I can figure it out. So I suppose probably really the next thing I want to do is start taming things up, doing missions and so on. Definitely interested in those little May wings over there. I mean, that one, I don't know if that one was, that one's now a 50. There was a 145 around here at some point. The tech striders, I've seen, yeah, you need to do missions for them. There's some seriously, well, at least there was a really good looking owl on this map that I've seen. I mean, I spent quite a bit of time getting all these colours for Aussie here, but this one was just a mixture of all sorts of really cool colours. A bit like how Rainbow's got like a variety of colours as well, but this one was just reds and blues, and greens and yellows. It was a really nice one. But we haven't even gone as far as like building our own kibble farm or getting dinos for actual, you know, getting the eggs and so on. So there's still a ways to go yet. And of course, that's all for another episode.